Helldivers 2, by definition, is referred to as As you may or may not know, Helldivers 2 was released in 2024 by Arrowhead Studios and published by PlayStation. Especially last year, Helldivers 2 was poppin', seeing nearly 500,000 players on Steam alone at its peak. Weirdly enough, although most would assume a game of this size is surely going to fall at some point, and I'll be honest, PlayStation almost dropped the bag and the cake to be eaten too. Dudes were playing hot potato with the best game of last year. But recently, I picked up Helldivers 2 on the Steam Gabe Wants All Your Money sale, and I didn't realize how adrenaline-inducing this game can be. Granted, I should have made this video last year, but I haven't uploaded in 6 months anyway, so give me some slack. After putting in a concerning amount of hours into Helldivers 2, it's time to redeploy, Helldiver. No sponsors, just a quick reminder to join my Discord if you'd like to talk to myself and others. Additionally, if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by heading over to my Patreon. That's all. Enjoy the video. Say hello to your mom. Just in case you've been living under a rock, this is Helldivers 2. You are a part of the military enforcement of Super Earth, a futuristic version of the Earth we know today, but being oppressed by Helldivers' three main enemy factions: the Terminid, a bug enemy type, the Automatons, a robotic type enemy, and the most newly added Illuminate, which are a mix between alien life forms and zombies type of enemy. As a part of your democratic duty, you must dive off the top rope like Kurt Angle and help prevent the end of democracy. Now, of course, this means a lot of weaponry can be used here: assault rifles, submachine guns, energy rifles, and of course pistols and grenades of all different shapes and sizes. Now, this sounds easy enough. You drop onto the planet of the species you selected to engage with, you pull out your weapon to shoot, and whoopsie, you loaded your weapon with Raisin Bran, and not the alright kind of Raisin Bran. I'm talking Raisin Bran you get from Aldi. And in case you've never been to Aldi, imagine buying cereal, opening it up, and waiting 3 days, and then finally going to eat a bowl of it. That's your weapon starting out in Helldivers 2. So you think, oh wow, what am I supposed to do? I need to upgrade my weapon in order to complete missions, but I can't upgrade my weapons without completing missions first. Well, I will have you know that Super Earth has you covered. These are called stratagems, which can be defined more or less as support weapons, defense, or oppressive fire through heavy artillery. Oh wow, okay, that sounds good. So just a small bomb. Jesus Christ. We'll get into that in a little bit, but you will absolutely need your stratagems in order to play Helldivers 2 efficiently. Most importantly, especially starting out, as your support weapons you can take with you at any given time. Of course, if you don't die because you drop them upon death, or you're waiting because you died and it takes a while to recharge anyway, drop me some bombs through some Dance Dance Revolution of the finger variety and get a move on. This is where Helldivers 2 really shines through for me personally. You're not just shooting the bad guys and walking away with no real sense of accomplishment, but you're strategically thinking what the best way to utilize what 4 stratagems you can bring in, and those 4 can depend wildly on what species you're fighting. Whether you're doing escort missions, raising flags for Super Earth, or simply just thinning the herd in a specific area. This goes far more complex than this. As you earn better and better stratagems, better and better weaponry, you'll notice these lower difficulties don't really feel all that challenging. So you crank up that difficulty, and what do you see? Not just a higher number of enemies, sure, that's a given, but you also see new enemies you haven't seen before. Terminids are now bigger and have more armored bugs to kill. Automatons will drop in more armored enemies, sometimes with shields, and sometimes they just drop a tank on you, and that's not even the highest difficulty. You'll still see the lower tier enemies too. They just run around like 7-Eleven crackheads out for democracy. Now you'll need even better weapons, even better stratagems. You get to the point where solo missions are not even an option. You will need a 4-stack to do these higher difficulties, which, side note, is something I really enjoy in Helldivers 2 because most of the time your teammates aid in a ton of ways and voice chat is almost never around, so thanks guys. Also, not to mention, you need to grab rare and common samples and extract with them, which lets you unlock expansions of your ship and give you buffs to call in stratagems, and can be very useful to unlock. So much of Helldivers 2 is so intertwined with each other that is probably very overwhelming to someone who's never played before. But Helldivers 2 is a classic case of easy to learn but difficult to master. There is so much I've glanced over here in just this little quick tism session. You should probably just be checking this out for yourself. There is so much you can do to defend democracy in Super Earth and Helldivers 2, but something I think Helldivers 2 absolutely nails is the teamwork. Imagine this, you're taking a leisurely stroll through some enemy territory, blowing up robots along the way, when your teammate screams from the sky, "Think fast, chuckle nuts," and obliterates you with a bomb not far off from the smash hit 28 days later. I mean Oppenheimer. Playing Helldivers 2 can go one of 2 ways. You can either solo the missions yourself, which can be beneficial as you're not dragged down by potentially bad teammates, or run the risk of redeploying over and over again until David Cross's character from the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie pulls your record deal.
Your song? It's awful.
Or B, you play with the team, up to 3 additional players, making a squad of 4, including yourself. This is beneficial, obviously, because you get more help, right? Wrong. Say hello to my little friend called the death screen. Oh, you like having your support weapon? The weapon you can only deploy once every 5 minutes, and if dropped is a super pain in the ass, if not impossible to gain back. So if some freaky Bile Titan rolls around, you can roll the dice and go myself. This is one of the things I actually really enjoy about Helldivers 2. You practically need a team in Helldivers 2, especially at higher difficulties, but communication can be more or less summed up to highlighting hotspots on the map or just pinging directly in front of you. It's also the same method used in the finals, another great game that I will someday talk about again when the monkey brain decides to write more videos. Jokes aside, although every game will have its bad teammates, generally you can bet on having a decent team to run with in Helldivers. Even if you start alone, you're almost guaranteed someone is going to join you and help you complete a mission or two, which keep in mind most of the time, and even including my example from before in the finals, randoms are usually complete dog ass. Swear to God, 90% of the time in a teamwork based game, you'll have some dude who doesn't know how to play, a dude that is actually pretty good but completely f***s off and does his own thing, and the diamond in the stack of f***ing shit where they play both good and play like a team anyways. And if you feel like you can compete alone anyways, just do that. Nothing is stopping you from doing everything solo. Just don't expect to get those rare or common samples as often, because even though teammates aren't that bad, let's not forget they're just a mule for my rare earth gems. Don't get it twisted. I get that I'm the same for them too. But most importantly, one thing Helldivers 2 does insanely well is the sound and visual design. You might not think about this until someone points it out, but once you pay attention to how things are not only visually presented to you, but audibly as well, you'll have a newfound respect to pretty much any piece of media. As an example, this is a rule I always try to follow. If something is appearing on screen that I added in myself, that image must have some sort of audio attached to it to really convey the message that the item is really there. You've likely noticed this on TikToks where if someone gets flicked in the head, you hear the bruh sound effect, or when some dog-ass AI dog gets blown up, but you get the point. But this is in everything. Movies, video games, even this video has had sound effects that I had to manually place there myself. Granted, I didn't necessarily create these effects myself, but once you realize how much thought goes into each specific entity in a video and media creation, you find this newfound respect for work put into media. Helldivers 2 is a phenomenal example of this. You drop in, hearing the wind blowing past your hell pod. You rise up, hearing the mechanical lift in the world around you being heard as your hell pod crashes into it. You place down a stratagem, hearing that perfect sound effect with each button press, and you hear that stratagem place and crash into the world as well. I could go on for hours simply just nitpicking the audio alone. This is why people who are really into headphones tell you to buy nice tin cans for your ears. It sounds amazing. This is not only to mention the visual design itself. I don't know why, but I love dark and minimal aesthetics for some reason. Stalker, Into the Radius, and Helldivers are a great example of this. Although the color palette of Super Earth is bright and vibrant, each world you visit is a completely different color palette compared to the last. Each shot from a weapon feels impactful, like you're really shooting at evil Siri over here. Each enemy reacts differently both visually and audibly as you fire rounds into them. Each stratagem sounds and reacts differently on where you've called them in. Keep in mind, I'm thinking all of this while this is happening. Seeing your first big explosion in Helldivers is something remarkable to experience and had me immediately hooked into this gameplay of this game. You can really tell each detail was meticulously thought of and crafted specifically for that weapon or item or stratagem. Still currently loving my time with Helldivers 2, unlocking everything after hours of gameplay already, but I can't help but wonder what comes next. So what comes next? I love seeing new weapons or stratagems, of course, but what's the big picture plan for Helldivers 2? Obviously, Arrowhead has that Sony money, so development cost shouldn't really be too much to ask for. I will say I would really love to see a Warhammer collab of some kind. Not sure of the possibility of that ever happening, but I feel as though both franchises would benefit from one another. Additionally, I'd love to see an event where, let's say, Terminids are officially wiped out and democracy is saved from that species, but because of this, a new race is added in like what they did with the Illuminati. Or alternatively, when a species count gets low enough, they'll evolve to be stronger even at lower difficulties. Ultimately, I just love to see new content coming into the game. Not some Fortnite level collab like Marvel or something, but something that could be related to Helldivers 2. One thing is for certain. Anything for democracy.